Narrator, calm, thoughtful tone. You ever wonder if walls can remember? Because, sometimes it feels like they do. Tonight, I want to tell you about 3 homes, nothing special, really. Ordinary places. Front lawns. Mailboxes. The kind of homes you drive past without even noticing. But somehow, each one of them called 911. No one lived there. No phone lines. No signs of life. And yet, the calls were real. Traced. Recorded. Filed away, like any other emergency. But these weren't ordinary calls. Beat. Let's start with the one people call. The Maple Street Incident. Story 1, The Maple Street Incident, 0:45 to 9:30. Maple Street was your typical small-town neighborhood. Quiet cul-de-sac. Kids' bikes left on lawns. Every porch light the same soft yellow. Except one. House number 48. It had been empty for 7 years. The woman who lived there, Linda Ferris, a retired nurse, died in 2016. Natural causes, they said. After that, the house just sat. No one moved in. No one broke in. It just stood there, like it was waiting for something. Then, on March 2, 2023, at 3:14 a.m., dispatch got a 911 call. Caller ID, 48, Maple Street. But here's the strange part. That phone line had been disconnected since 2017. Still, the operator picked up. 911, what's your emergency? There's a pause. Then, a woman's voice, shaky, scared. There's someone in my house. The operator asks for her address. 48. Maple. By the time officers arrived, 7 minutes later. The house was dark. Front door locked from the inside. No broken windows. No forced entry. And the kitchen phone? Unplugged. No power. No dial tone. They went room by room. Dust covered everything. Except for one thing. A small, barefoot print pressed into the carpet. Fresh. When forensics reviewed the audio later, the voice on the call matched Linda Ferris, the woman who died there 7 years earlier. The report was sealed 2 days later. But neighbors still talk. They say if you drive past 48 Maple after midnight, you can sometimes see a faint light flicker on, for exactly 7 minutes. And every year, on March 2nd, the 911 center gets another call. Same number. Same voice. Same words. There's someone in my house. Story 2, The Farmhouse Line, 9:30 to 1800 hours. The next story takes us 2 states over, to what locals call, the Benson Farm. A 2-story farmhouse sitting in the middle of nowhere. It's been abandoned since 1999. Everyone in town knows why. The Benson family, husband, wife, and 2 kids, vanished overnight. No signs of struggle. No note. Just an open back door. And 4 plates of dinner, still warm on the table. For over 20 years, the house rotted away. Land changed owners. Nobody stayed. Then, one night in 2021, dispatch got a call. From a burner phone pinging right to the Benson property. The call lasted 6 seconds. Just static. And then a whisper. Please tell my kids to come inside. It's getting dark. When investigators showed up the next morning, the front door was open. Inside, the air was still. Dust everywhere, except for 4 sets of footprints leading toward the dining room. On the table sat a plate of food. Still warm. Sheriff David Holt was the first one inside. He'd worked homicide, cold cases, you name it. But he told reporters it was the most disturbing scene of his career. He said the footprints were too light, too even. Like someone was walking slow, just so they could be heard. A week later, it happened again. Same property coordinates. Same kind of call. Only this time, there were 4 voices overlapping. 2 male. 2 female. Whispering the same thing. We're home. The land's fenced off now. Condemned. But truckers who pass by at night swear they've seen the porch lights flicker. And if you stand close enough, you might hear a faint ringing from inside the house. No one's ever had the courage to answer. Story 3, the apartment that answered itself, 18:00, 27:00. The last story doesn't take place in some empty field. It's right in the middle of Chicago. An old apartment complex on the east side. Unit 3B. It used to belong to Mara Klein, an EMT who lived alone. She died in 2019, heart failure. Since then, no one's lived there. But in July of 2022, neighbors started calling the landlord. Said the lights in 3B were turning on again. Said they saw shadows behind the curtains. The landlord swore the place was vacant. Power shut off. Meter disconnected. Then one night, a woman on the third floor called 911. She said she heard a crash from 3B. Followed by muffled screaming. Officers arrived within 5 minutes. The hallway smelled like bleach. Door locked. They kicked it in. And found nothing. No furniture. No lights. No sound. Just one thing on the floor. An old flip phone. Screen cracked. And it was still on a call. Dispatcher later confirmed. That same phone had just dialed 911 minutes earlier. Caller ID read, Klein, Mara. Her old EMT number. Deactivated 3 years ago. The call was short. Barely audible. Just faint breathing. Then one line. He's back. No fingerprints. No sign of forced entry. Hallway camera showed nothing unusual. Except one frame, 2 minutes before the call. A flicker. Like something passed in front of the lens. The lights in 3B haven't worked since. And the phone, the one found on the floor, still sits in evidence. Battery dead. Call log wiped. But every few months, dispatch says they see it again. Same caller ID. Same time stamp. 3 a.m. Duration, 7 minutes. 3 homes. Different cities. Different years. All empty. All, still reaching out. People say it's just crossed wires. Glitches in the system. Hoaxes. Maybe. But sometimes, it feels like something else. Like the walls remember. Like the air keeps the memory. Maybe these places don't forget the people who lived, and died, inside them. Maybe they're just trying to finish a conversation. So next time you drive past an old house at night, and you see one lonely light flicker on, just remember, some homes don't want to be forgotten. And sometimes, they call you.